As we set up a new insurance process for Paul Newman, we need to ask ourselves a few questions first. We need to ask ourselves if Paul Newman is a subscriber on the insurance plan. If the answer is yes, then you can proceed to set up a new insurance process for Paul Newman through the use of cases here. If the answer is no, and say it's Paul Newman's wife calling on his behalf, the question to her would be if she's the subscriber. If she's the subscriber, then the case should be opened up under her page. If Paul Newman is a subscriber but will be working with the wife, then the case needs to be opened up under Paul Newman's page because he will be the insurance subscriber. So in this case, Paul Newman is our insurance subscriber, so we open a case. Click on New Case. Brings us to this page where we select if you're in Maine, please select the Maine insurance application process. And for the purposes of this example, we'll select Massachusetts insurance application process. So automatically we realize a couple of things. Coming from the contacts page, it's automatic, the name is automatically filled in. And looking at this case information section, we see that the status and the case origin are required fields. That means that on this page you will be unable to save unless those two fields have an actual value in them. For case origin, the question is really simple. How is it that they came in contact with us about health insurance, or that we got in contact with them on health insurance? In this case, we'll say an event. We had an interaction with Paul Newman during one of our events. The next thing to note are the types of applications that are available. And I'll also highlight auto renew, which is a new process. For the moment, we'll talk about paper, electronic, and help desk applications. As you can see, these are the three different, more traditional ways so far for people to get health insurance. You have 4 different options under each, and they all have the same options. Make sure to select none if paper application was not used. And as you can see, this none versus that and that are very different because these two contain the dashes which indicate that you have not made a choice as yet, unlike this one where we actually are saying that a choice has been made. So make sure when you're filling in your information to actually select none from the pick list. So the latest type of application process is auto renew, and this is for people who used to be on ComChoice, and these people are now going to be going through a process called FastPass. From our understanding, ComChoice is sending out letters that are auto renewing people on the plans and in the insurance companies that they had been with previously. On this page, and as we continue all the way through, you'll see that we have some help tasks, and feel free whenever you're in doubt to refer to those. So in this situation, we want to say that Paul Newman was a recipient of this FastPass letter. So we'll click on auto renew because this is a very different process than the paper, electronic, or the help desk. Next thing, we want to understand if you provided assistance in another language. If so, make sure you check the box and make sure you select the language chosen. Finally, if we get to this particular place where we're talking about the number of people the case applies to. And in this case, you need to ask yourself, as you're putting in the actual number, how many people, including the contact person, will the case apply to? In this case, our contact person is Paul Newman. If he was married, it would be 2. If he had 2 children, the number would be 4. So in this case, the case only applies to Paul Newman. So we'll just say 1 person. So that's it for filling the case information section.